I am better than you. Maybe you've had someone tell you this before, or if they haven't said it, you could tell that they were thinking it. If you're anything like me, this makes you so mad, grinds your gears, gargles your grundles. Just really makes you want to throw down. How dare they assume that they know better than me? Obviously, I know best. I know for me, when I really look at why this makes me mad, it comes down to an issue of pride and humility. I would like to say that I'm a humble person, but when it comes down to it, most of the time I'm not. I see this in myself in the way that I try and fight my way to the top, thinking that I deserve the best grade, or that I should be starting on the team, or maybe that I should be first chair in band. I think sometimes we, myself included, let pride dictate how we act. We allow ourselves to believe that we are better than the people around us, and therefore we deserve more, or we deserve better things. This is a really dangerous mindset, because guess what? There's always gonna be someone better than you at whatever you're doing. And that's okay. Jesus never asked for us to be the best. When we overestimate our abilities and our status, it can actually be more harmful to us than to others. Jesus addresses this whole issue of pride and humility in Luke chapter 14, verses 7 through 11. When Jesus noticed that all who had come to the dinner party were trying to sit near the head of the table, he gave them this advice. If you are invited to a wedding feast, don't always head for the best seat. What if someone more respected than you has also been invited? The host will say, "Let this person sit here instead." Then you will be embarrassed. You will have to take whatever seat is left at the foot of the table. Do this instead. Sit at the foot of the table. Then when your host sees you, he will come and say, "Friend, we have a better place for you than this." Then you will be honored in front of all other guests, for the proud will be humbled, but the humbled will be honored. Now it's important to realize that Jesus didn't just tell this story out of the blue. In verse 7, we see that there were a bunch of people fighting for the best seat at the table. It was then, when Jesus saw that he told this story. You see, these people, like me, were dealing with issues of pride. They all wanted to be at the top, at the best seat at the table. Because in their culture, where you sat at the table said a lot about who you were and what your status was. They wanted to be seen and recognized by those around them as important. Not only that, but they probably believed that they were worthy of that seat at the table. While all these people are fighting for who gets to sit where, Jesus takes the time to reframe the whole situation. Jesus, as Jesus often does, takes everything we think we know about the world and flips it on its head. He tells us that rather than trying to go for the best seat, it's better for us to go to the worst position. Jesus explains to us that if we are worthy of a better position than we sit in, we will be moved up. But if we're in fact not worthy of the position that we sit in, we'll be moved down by the person in charge. I don't know about you, but I would much rather be moved up than have to be moved down, especially in front of all my friends. This applies to more than just the table at dinner. This is about the way that we think of ourselves and the way that we think of others. Jesus urges us to live in humility, to live in such a way that we are concerned first with the needs of others before we think of ourselves. Jesus is the ultimate example of this. God came down, took the lowly form of a human baby, lived here in the earth that he created, and died a criminal's death, all because of our great need for him. Jesus put our needs first, before ever thinking about his own comfort or his own safety. How would your relationships with your friends, with your family, be different if you took this approach to life? There are always ways that we can continually move our focus away from ourselves and onto those around us. Maybe right now, that means going shopping for your elderly neighbors who are afraid to go outside, or it's unwise for them to go outside. Or maybe It's giving away a few rolls of toilet paper, if you even have any. It could be as simple as simply choosing to go to the back of the line for lunch, if you guys ever get back into school. By choosing to put people first, we remind ourselves that we're not more important than those around us, that we are not better than those around us. We are all made in the image of God, and we are designed to live in service to one another. Just as Jesus humbled himself for our sake, we are called to live lives of humility. In doing so, we spread the love and message of Jesus to our neighbor and to the world around us. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful for you. We're missing you guys over here. We're excited for when we get to have youth group again. We're going to keep making these videos. We want you guys to be able to continue to connect with Jesus, to continue to dive deep into his word. So look for one next week. Feel free to reach out at any point. We're here for you guys. We will see you next week. Coffee. Potentially God's greatest gift, aside from Jesus.